What is up, everybody? I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to Mikasa Sukasa, and I am your host, Niko House. Of course, I always want to give a special thanks to our sponsors, the credit surgeons. If you don't want to wait a year or 2 years to get that mortgage, that car loan, or even just to improve your credit, go ahead and go to thecreditsurgeons.com. They'll be able to get you taken care of an average of 6 to 8 months. Make sure that you also follow our new Steemit page if you have Steemit. Even if you don't have Steemit, it's a great platform. It actually uses cryptocurrency to pay out the users based off the popularity of their posts. It doesn't cost anything to sign up, but it's a great way to support your favorite independent journalist, podcaster, etc. Without having to actually pay anything yourself. I actually have a Facebook group dedicated to bolstering the political Steemit, the political Steemit outreach, just because there's not really any. For the most part, there's very, very few political independent journalists or personalities on Steemit. So I definitely encourage you all to join that group. If you just type in on Facebook, Steemit Politics. You can find us pretty easily. Right now, we're public. You do have to request to join, but we don't do a strong vetting process as of yet. But eventually that will change. But we're just getting started up. I'm actually going to do my first live stream there on Friday, February the 2nd, to explain exactly what I hope to achieve by creating that particular Facebook group, because it's actually going to include a lot of different stuff. And if you have not yet, you can read my article. I'll post the link down below about Bernie Sanders in 2020 and addressing all the concerns that people have been having. You can it's on Medium. If you haven't checked that out yet, you can also find it on Steemit as well. I'll go ahead and post both of those links below, because I know some people can't access it on Medium. Other than that, I do want to go ahead and get started. It's been a pretty long weekend. It's been actually kind of crazy, because I feel like over the weekend politics is supposed to chill out a little bit, right? It's like, oh, I can relax. I'm not going to have to deal with any crazy nonsense, any crazy stories, and there's always one, right? And it always seems like somehow, some way, Hillary Clinton manages to find her way back into the news for some crazy things she has done in the past. And this is just yet another example of this. I'm not sure if most of you are aware, because the mainstream media, as usual, has done a very good job of suppressing this. In fact, even though this particular incident happened, she still somehow managed to end up on the Grammys. And reading excerpts from Trump's book, which is really petty, because to be totally honest with you, if Trump did that, they would be lambasting him. Like if he did that, say at the Country Music Awards, the left, the liberal, neoliberal left would just be, oh my God, he's so petty. He doesn't have anything else to do. I'm still with her. Let's just ignore the fact that she's a criminal, or at least being investigated internationally, not just domestically, but she's being investigated internationally right now. Let's just forget all that stuff. But hey, right? But this is probably just giving even more credence to the fact that the neoliberal elitist left has lost their damn minds. So there have been 2 women that accused a man, specifically a Hillary Clinton aide, of sexual harassment. They accused him of stalking, touching, and making inappropriate comments. Now, here's what's weird about this. So this didn't happen during this campaign, okay? This actually happened during the 2008 campaign. Now, a woman who worked for Hillary Clinton accused the aide, Burns Strider, of sexual harassment. However, I thought, well, maybe, because y'all know how I am, right? I try to read from not only an objective perspective, because when I read articles, I feel like I have a responsibility as a journalist and as a voice that could potentially influence how someone else may think about the article, then I have to actually approach it from the other side. So at this point, I will assume that maybe Hillary Clinton didn't perhaps get the message and didn't have anything to do with the situation, because when you're running for office, you don't necessarily hear everything that goes on within the campaign. That's realistic. I also try not to assume the guilt of someone else. I try to read it critically, not objectively, and this is just, like I said, me as a journalist, because I feel like that's the only way that you're going to be able to end up being objective. Because if you start out objective, it's like a scale, right? If you start off objective, the more you read the article, you're going to get subjective. If you start off critical, then you end up objective, because you have to then prove, you have to actually prove that somebody is guilty. You have to prove that someone has nefarious intentions, or in this situation like that, Hillary Clinton ignored the person. But yeah, she actually did. In fact, Clinton reportedly wouldn't even fire Strider, and instead, which she has to actually approve of, because he was a top aide, docked his pay and demoted him and just reassigned his accuser. What? But, I tried to once again be objective, but then it gets a little bit worse, because his reputation, his brand, his credibility didn't even get affected by that, because he actually went on to work for a pro-Hillary Clinton super PAC. At American Bridge, he allegedly sexually harassed 2 female subordinates on top of that. One woman claimed that he gave her creepy messages, grabbed her by the waist from behind, and even tracked her schedule. She also said that he made comments about being tough to work. She also said that he made comments about being, quote unquote, tough to work in Washington, as in he could get her the right connections. Now, the second woman said that Strider was controlling and even made comments about her appearance, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. It just depends on what those comments are. Now, in a 45-minute interview with BuzzFeed on Saturday, Strider didn't even deny the allegations. So at that point, I got to throw all, I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. I tried to give Clinton the benefit of the doubt. But BuzzFeed does this interview, right? Okay. And he doesn't deny the allegations, nor does he dispute the fact that he didn't use inappropriate language. Now, when I said that the comments, it depends on the context, like the comments that he used in regards to comments to complimenting the females. Now, the context is these were his subordinates. So once again, he was wrong. He was wrong. There was no right in that situation. So he didn't dispute the comments. He didn't dispute the fact that he used inappropriate language when he was giving those compliments. He did not even deny the allegations. Instead, he said he didn't realize at the time that those terms in the workplace weren't appropriate or preferred. That's a fucking political dodge, first of all. Let me just be very clear about that. You are a grown man. You are in a higher position. You got demoted for your behavior during the 2008 campaign, and the person got removed, and you got your pay docked because she was uncomfortable, because you did wrong. And so then you're going to pretend that you didn't know that it was inappropriate, although you got somewhat reprimanded for it. And then you go do it again at a Hillary Clinton super PAC, even though you already got in trouble for it. And then your excuse is, but I didn't know. Oh, man. It's you can't make this stuff up, right? Now, here's where it gets a little bit more interesting. Here's what gets a little bit more interesting. You all know that Hillary Clinton talked about this, right? Hillary Clinton actually made a tweet regarding this. It went something to the effect of, I'm so happy they came out publicly. I'm so I support them 100%. Blah, 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 blah. Say what? It's not what it looked like to me. Because the way you support, because, okay, let's just say maybe. Let's just say perhaps she didn't know about the other two, but she knew about the first one. And all you did was you moved her position and just quote unquote demoted him. But you're still friends with him. You have pictures with the guy. She has pictures with the guy still. Like, I'm talking about 2015. Sitting side by side. If you want to know what she's wearing one of her pink pantsuits. One of them hideous looking things. And then he has on a tan jacket and a black shirt, and they're drinking together. So this is a casual encounter. Oh, I lied. I'm so sorry, y'all. That wasn't 2015, the picture. The picture was in 2017 at her 70th birthday. But y'all with her. Right? Y'all with her. 2017 at her 70th birthday. Now, understand something. This doesn't take much research to find out. The things that I have to look up half the time to prove some of the things that Clinton has done takes me a couple of hours. This took all of 15 or 20 minutes over the weekend while I was out like getting a drink or something on my cell phone. So my question is, and this is something I'm going to delve in a little bit more into on YouTube during the live stream, but why would the Grammys invite her? Why would the Grammys invite her to something like that, like bolster her brand, if you will? Luckily, what they don't know is most Americans don't give a shit about the Grammys, and we had the Grammys figured out a long time ago, along with the Oscars and all the Academy Awards and all that good stuff, the Emmys. We've been figured that stuff out. We don't watch that anymore. Come on. Millennials got better stuff to do. We were listening to underground music. We don't listen to that mainstream nonsense. But anyway, the Grammys have her speak. Despite her record. This is the exact same way I felt about Oprah. They had Oprah speak, and she's friends with Harvey Weinstein, and they uninvited the people that Harvey Weinstein had allegedly raped. But the whole, supposedly, the entire Oscars was themed around the Me Too movement and the Your Time's Up or Time's Up movement. So, what the hell? What the hell? Like, do we just ignore this? I need some answers, Grammys. Because it would be different if y'all filmed this like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a week ago. But this story broke. January the 29th. No, excuse me. Today's 29th. The story didn't break on the 29th. The tweet happened on Thursday. So I guess that was like the 24th, 25th. I know you film over the weekend and then you show it. But y'all had her. And the only reason she responded to the tweet was because the story actually broke before the tweet came out. So she had to respond because she was about to go on to the Grammys. That's my assumption, by the way. That is speculation, but that's just kind of how politicians do things. Come on, though. That's disgusting. That's exactly what they did with Oprah. This is why I laugh whenever a feminist has the audacity to claim to me that somehow supporting Hillary Clinton is an act of feminism. It is the antithesis to feminism, at least the feminism that you claim to support. Hillary Clinton, the same woman who doesn't pay her women equal at the Clinton Foundation, the same woman who wouldn't even show her face at the Women's March, which I find peculiar because she managed to show her face at the Grammys, but she couldn't even hit y'all with the drive-by wave, people. I just want you to know that. But y'all with her, though, right? Y'all still with her. She can show up to the Grammys, but she can't show up for your rights. That's crazy. Makes you wonder why she lost, right? No, it doesn't. We know exactly why she lost. Because of shit like that. I find that peculiar. But what I find even more peculiar is the amount of love and adoration that the elites, that the left, the neoliberal left, by the way, not the progressives, hopefully, how they forget so fast, so quickly. And Hillary Clinton sold their ass out. Thank you all so much for listening. Like I said, make sure you check out our sponsor, the Credit Surgeons. You can check them out and you schedule an appointment to talk to someone at thecreditsurgeons.com. Like I said, also, if you're on Facebook, make sure you join our Steam It Politics group. We got big plans for it, really big plans, important plans too. I don't want to. It's a secret at this very moment. It's a secret, but if you want to be part of that secret, you got to go to the political group. You gotta join it, request to join, and then from there, join that live stream on Friday, February the 2nd, 2018. Thank you all so much for listening, and always remember, people, find your balance. Peace.